Hi everyone, it's Cindy here from Skip to My Lou, and I'm excited to show you a great summer project because this is going to help you organize all your vacation memories. So I'm using Adobe Photoshop Elements guided edits to help me do my project. And the one I'm going to choose is this cool photo text. So hold on, let me show you. So what I want to do, so you can see, is that as we've traveled this summer, and these are old, actually very old vacation memories, I've just had them in a box, and so I wanted to create a shadow box for them. So I'm going to create a text, and then I have some souvenirs that we've collected that I'm going to put this all into an amazing display. So let me show you how I did this part. So I open up Photoshop Elements, and then I need to open my photo. So I come over here and I have a photo. Okay, it's down there. So now if you look in Photoshop, you're going to be amazed at all these guided edits you can do. In fact, you'll want to look on my blog. I did a really fun note card with this out of bounds edit. So I'm going to choose, and these are all found under Fun Edits. I'm going to choose the photo text. So I just click here, and then I'm going to, so you see my photo. So I click Type tool over here in the right hand side, and then I'm going to begin typing. I click on the photo, and then I get a little type cursor. So I'm going to type the word Germany. We lived overseas in Germany for 5 years, and I have tons of items and photos and everywhere we visited. While we were there, we visited 21 different countries. So I could make a lot of these displays. So once I have Germany typed on my my photo, I want it larger. So if I come down to the bottom of the screen, you'll find these little so you'll have all, you can change the font. I like this bold type, so I'm going to leave it, but you would change the font here. And also, I want this a little bit larger, so I am going to highlight my text, and then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to select, I think about 200 point. Let's see if that fills the screen. Yeah, that makes it really large and impactful. So the rest, you could center. These things you really don't need right now. You can adjust the color if you like over here. So once you have that the way you want it, whoops, there was a little green cursor I should have showed you. You click on the green check mark to confirm, and it automatically does all the work for you. Look, Germany is there, and the photo is now behind those words. The best part is I can just move this around anywhere on the photograph to kind of get a different look. I kind of like it more uniform with the clouds and this little steeple up here, so I'm just going to keep moving it. Don't worry about how you think it's going to print at this time, because we're actually going to be able to adjust that later. So I've done the type tool over here in the right hand side, and there's some other things I wanted to show you. So you could choose, what I have now is like it fits. They're kind of choosing where it went. Or I can actually choose this fill, and it's going to make the type go the entire width and height of the photograph, like that. For us, we want plenty of space to display our souvenirs, so I'm going to go back to the fit. And again, I want it a little more uniform, so I'm going to bring it back up here to where I get the just the clouds and more solid. Okay, so no, it's fine. Sorry everyone, I was worried about the printer. Okay, so then you can also select your background. I'm going to choose white, but black would also be really stunning and make a lot of contrast, especially if you were going to display items in front of it. And there's also a clear if you were going to add in other elements behind later. So I'll go ahead and select white. And then you can crop the image if you like. Now, if you want to add a little bit more dimension to this, there's these optional intensities where you can do a bevel, a drop shadow, and a stroke for the text. So, you know, just a little small, see how it kind of highlights that and makes it really pop. Or you could do medium, which is even more, or large. Oh, sorry, I have to simplify that, the type. I'm not going to do the large one. I actually am just going to do the small. I think that's just enough to make it stand out. Okay, there are more options under this advanced you can do, but for what we're doing is this works perfect, and I'm going to be able to make a wonderful display. So I hit Nix down here in the corner. And at this point I can save. I can even share this if I wanted to. I'm going to come up though to print. I'm going to scroll down to print. And I want to make sure I've selected 8.5 by 10 because that is the photo size frame I have. It just kind of all worked great to keep them all uniform sizes. Then I'm going to really nothing else needs to be checked here. It kind of works perfectly because now I know that I really want to have some items displayed at the bottom of this, some postcards and things to make a nice collage. So I'm going to I am just clicking on the photograph, and with the hand I'm just moving it up, and I'm just kind of visually deciding how much space. Do remember the frame does come down a little bit, so you don't want to cut off your words and move it by moving it up too high. So I think right about there is great. So then I have that there, and now I just hit print. I think it's nice to use a heavier weight paper, like even cardstock or photo paper will make it nice. So put this into your printer. Or I know, tell me where you're from, but tell me where your best vacation was this summer. Okay, back to print here, and just hit print. Helps if you get all your printer settings. We didn't take a family vacation this summer, sadly. Too many projects. So I do have to show you why this is printing. It might take a minute since it's a photograph, and I printed it pretty high resolution. Okay, so I have to tell you, one thing we did, and it was one of the best things we did when we lived abroad, was that when we first moved overseas, my boys were 1 and 4, and we knew everywhere we visited they were going to want a souvenir, and we're like, oh, how buy that one item. So my middle son, he chose postcards, and so I just have to say this was probably the best idea, because what we did was wherever we were at, we would write a little bit about what we did that day, and so we'd write it all out, and then we'd find the stamp for the local place, and then we'd mail it back home to ourselves. So you can see there's the Louvre, and here's from one from the United States, Silver Dollar City, but this was in Estonia. So everywhere we went, we did this, and this is a very small sampling of the postcards he has, But what I loved is this summer he went to Colorado with some friends. He's now 21 years old. And sure enough, in the mail we got a postcard where he had written what he had done this summer. And I just thought, what a wonderful memory, because not only does he have a picture of where we were, he has a little bit written about what we did. And as it changed, we wrote in the beginning because he was one, but then to watch him be able to write for himself and talk about what we did. So what I wanted to do was make him a shadow box from, we lived in Germany, so with some of our time in Germany. So we actually lived in a little village called Waldorf, and here were some other places he loved to visit. We actually went to the place where they make Hummels, the little ceramic figurines, and one of the ladies signed a little pig with his name Bradley on it. So, and then of course everyone knows Germany is all about nutcrackers, so somehow I had this, and then a little pin from a location. So we have our little paper here. And these shadow boxes, I got this at the craft store. It's really nice because it has about 1.5 inches to between the glass and the back. So you can put a lot of three-dimensional items in if you like. Okay, so just remove the back and set this aside. And so lay this down here. And I actually didn't attach it because I had this pin that I stuck in there that kind of attached it for me. And it also will stick in the back to keep it in place. And so let's see. I wanted to make sure that, like, we saw some writing on one postcard of where we went, and then maybe something like that. I think actually I'm going to do it this way. And so all you're doing is aligning them. Now, I really didn't want to put tape on these. In case he ever decides that he wants to display these differently, I didn't want to harm them. I do know that you can buy archival tape at like a scrapbooking store or probably even a local craft store. And there's also tape that can be easily removed. I tried not to use any tape. I just, since these are his, I didn't want to, do that. Now, what I did do though, so I wanted to give this some dimension with these items. So I bought these foam adhesive circles, and I just use them as little and they're sticky on both sides, and so I could put it in there. And let's see, I just want to line this up a little bit visually so I know where, like, I might want this little pig to be and this little nutcracker. I'm going to put him over there. So let me get another one of these and peel off the back. And then he'll stick right about there. So if you can kind of see, and it really did help to have those sewn dots because there's a little ledge on this frame. So I just put him right in there. And then let's put this little pig. I already have the dot there. Actually, let's see. So something like that just gives it a lot of dimension. But you might find when you travel, you have, like here's our ski pass from Austria. Like this was some tickets to castles we visited. The airline tickets. You could just do anything, and it's such a nice way to display those items and get them out of a box, like where all mine are. Okay. So I think that is about right. Just kind of have to be careful there. Whoops, I kind of wanted that on the other side. We're gonna go with it, but I think I might have put it on the other side if I was doing it again. And then, so you just get it all lined up. Like that, and put the back on, and you have a great display. And it took minutes, and now my son is going to be able to have these memories on his wall every day. So I hope you like this project, and I really hope you'll check out Adobe Photoshop Elements. In fact, there is a free trial I'll put in the comments so you can give it a try. But I've been really excited about all the fun things I've been able to do, and helps me edit like a pro, and it guides you through every step of the way. So I hope you give this project a try, and that you got to go someplace fun this summer. Have a great day.